Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to paint the cabinets today. Now today I'm going to be using this furniture and cabinet paint by Valspar. It's an oil infused paint, and you have seen me use this paint before on a project I did. Remember the cedar chest that I stripped back the top and I painted the shell of the cedar chest? I painted it in that green. In this green, matter of fact. In this green, matter of fact. Remember that? It was a wonderful product and it did not scrape off. It actually did cure nicely, and I had no complaints. So we are going to be using the same Valspar cabinet and furniture paint, but we are doing it in a different color. Now, remember I had originally wanted the cabinets to be just wood toned and then the shell of it dark. That was vetoed, unfortunately, because you guys know I like the color black. I was vetoed. So I have gone back to my original plan, which is to paint the cabinets. Now, I said I wanted a lighter color because of the washer and dryer were in the white family. So I wanted a lighter tone, but I didn't want completely white because then it'd be just an all white room. I wanted some contrast of white. So here are the color swatches, and can you guess which one I picked? I'm going to put it down here. This is the color that I ended up picking, and the color name is Mackerel. I am not good with this pronunciation, but this one right here. So it's kind of like a gray taupe color, and it's going to be light enough, but yet it's going to be one of those chameleon colors. It goes nicely with the floor that we placed. So the big tall cabinet, the cabinet that we bought from Lowe's that we are kind of retrofitting and making it a cabinet for the laundry room. And this color is all going to be in this color. Now this color looks pretty white. So I'm kind of interested in what it would look like when I put it on. Enough chit-chatting. I think we just need to get into today's project, which is painting the cabinets this color. All right. Just like how we did the primer, we're going to do the exact same thing with this paint. We're going to roll it on. It says it can be brush, sprayed, or roll, so we're just going to roll it on. We're not going to reinvent anything. We are just going to use the stuff that we have. So again, I just pick these rollers up. You can find them at any of the big box stores. I got them from Harbor Freight because the antique mall is right next to the Harbor Freight. So when I go to do the antique booth, I just hop over there and get any supplies that I may need. So it's a 4-inch roller, a half a nap, and it's just foam. It says for smooth to semi-smooth surfaces. If it turns rough, that's when we do our wet sand. Remember, I wet sand 2 different times. The first time I wet sand, I fill any of the holes with wood filler, and I just go back with the wet cloth and I just take all excess of the wood filler off, and it leaves a nice smooth finish. So the second time I wet sand is after I do my coats of paint. I'll just sit there and wet sand, and I'll show you all that here in just a second. First, what I use: roller, small roller, and then a tray. I line this little guy with foil, and it's just an easier cleanup. This takes a couple of hours for it to dry before you can recoat. So if you haven't noticed, I am in my scrubs, which means I worked today, but I just came home from work and I am going to roll the first coat on tonight, so it gives it a good couple of hours to cure, and then tomorrow I'll go back with coat number 2 after we wet sand. So that is the plan, so we can get this done. By the way, guys, I know I'm chit-chatting, but while I'm preparing my paints, if you guys don't mind and you are finding value in these videos that I'm making for you, if you wouldn't mind doing the thumbs up. It's free for you, but it means a lot to the whole YouTube algorithm. And then also subscribe if you like. I'd love to have you. Oliver would love to have you too. And it's free. My shadow. I cannot do anything without this little guy here. Let's get to painting. All right, guys, 1 door down and 5 more to do. So that is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night. I'll show you when I'm all done. I'm not going to bore you. Same thing. We're just going to roll it on. So I'll see you in a millisecond. But for me, it'll be a couple of minutes. All right, guys, we are all done with all our first coat painting. The first coat I always call it's the ugly coat. It's not going to cover 100%. You are going to need to do a quick little sand and a second coat, but that is where you get the good and the real coverage from it. But I am ready for bed. I need to do some cleanup and clean up me as well, but we are going to hop back on here tomorrow and we will do the second coat on the cabinet and flip those doors over and do the first coat on the other side. I am going to wrap up my roller in some saran wrap and put it in a baggie. And sometimes people put it in their freezer or their refrigerator, but there's a gross out factor for me. I can't do that. So I just put it in a baggie and I just put it down in the bottom of that cabinet right there and it'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. Anywho, I will see you tomorrow. Millisecond for you, a day for me. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday. So Saturday, we have a couple of things to do. Step 1, it is big appliance drop-off day. So anything with the cord, Freon, any appliance, you can go and they will get rid of it and recycle it for you. So today happens to be that day. And we have a couple of things we have to drop off to do that. You look so cute in your overalls. You go work. What is that thing?
It's air conditioning.
Ugh. Look at you move those stairs. You're so strong. so proud of you.
You ready? You can't do it, can you? I didn't think so.
Like this?
How are we gonna get it up in the truck?
All right, everyone. I don't know if you can see it, but we got it into the back of the truck. Now we are in a humongous line, and it's only until noon. It's 11:52, and I don't know if we're gonna make it in time to drop this off. I am not sure. I hope that we can take all this. I hope that we can get this dropped off, or I'm going to be driving around with a big, huge air conditioner unit in the back of Joe's new truck. I don't know.
Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door.
All unloaded. They were very, very sweet. It is 12:30, and they stuck around to help everybody that was in the line past 12, or that got in line before 12. It was say goodbye to all the stuff. Okay, next. Okay, obviously we went into Metro lighting. It's closes at 5, so I never can really get here after work. So I thought I would come today and look. And although it has some really interesting pieces, I wasn't blown away by any of it. I looked as much as I possibly can at the store. But what I found out was I like their art. There's a couple of pieces in there that maybe I can try to replicate for that one picture for above the sofa. I think it's worth a try. How about you? And my next stop, as much as I don't want to, I definitely need to go to the grocery store. I really don't like going to the grocery store. I don't want to go. What I really want to get done today is work on the cabinets and go to the booth. Don't think I'm going to be able to go to the booth today. That's going to be a tomorrow problem. But today we are going to work on the cabinet. But first, the grocery store. So I'm just sitting outside of the grocery store, trying to talk myself into going to the grocery store. But you know what I realized it is? It's Super Bowl this weekend. And I started with this, the thyroid healing diet. Not really a diet, but just kind of a way to kind of heal your body from viruses. I'm not going to get into it too deeply, but there's a couple of things that I need to start my adventure, and I need to go to the grocery store for that. So I have my list, and I guess we'll just get to it. All right, everyone, we are home. I had lunch. I'm refreshed. The grocery store was atrocious. I do not like going to the grocery store, but we got all the victuals that everybody wanted, and it is put away, and the belly is full. I got the things for some of the recipes in here. Now, I'm not going to follow this verbatim. It's like a 90-day cleanse. I'm not going to follow it verbatim, but there are a couple of things that I kind of like some of the sipping teas and broths and stuff like that. So, I've done this once before and I tolerated it well, and my body actually really enjoyed it. So I'm going to do it again. Enough said about this. We are going to put this book down, and we are going to go down and work on our cabinets. We have done what I call the ugly coat, the first coat. Now we're going to wet sand. So remember I said that I sand twice, or 2 different times. The first time was just to get that wood filler out, and the second time is now after I put that first coat on. So I'm going to show you downstairs what it looks like. Excuse the mess, but tomorrow this, that, and these are going to go to the booth, because next week is big trash day where we take a whole bunch of stuff and we donate it to the trash pile. So this stuff, though, right now is what is going to go to the booth. This is one of the chairs I fixed and cleaned. I'm still excuse my coat. I still need to fix this area here. I need to color match it, and so that's what has been the hiccup for this chair to be going to the booth. But once I get that color coordinated and toned, that one will be going. Okay, so what I use to wet sand is this 1500 wet to dry sandpaper. And quite honestly, I don't know where I got it. I think I want to say I got it from the dollar store, but it's called automotive sandpaper. Really, truly, any really high number sandpaper can work. I like this one because it's a wet to dry and it won't like disintegrate, or this stuff on top, this grit, won't like get all over the place. And you'll see here in a second. But this is what I use when I do that first coat, or after I do that first coat. I take this and I get it wet and I just go through and I just knock down the particles that have risen. Anytime you put water or liquid onto wood, it's going to swell and it's going to pop up. The grain is going to pop up. So you're just going to want to go around and do a quick little sand. And what that will do is it'll make your paint nice and smooth, but it also smooths this to touch too. And then the water kind of reactivates some of the paint. So when you do that wet sand, it kind of fills in all those little bumps, or it kind of fills in any grooves, and it just looks like a nice smooth surface. So if you're not wet sanding already, I highly recommend doing the wet sand after your first coat and then before you put on your top coat. Those are the great times. If you don't sand any other time, those are the best times to sand, and it's going to help smooth your surface area, and it'll be nice and smooth to the touch. So let's get started. And I don't use this whole sheet. I just use this little bit, get it wet, and it'll do all of this.
I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing in your eyes. Girl, I can tell that you have something on your mind. But I will make you.
So this is what I'm talking about. It kind of reactivates it and helps spread around the paint. So when it dries, it just dries that much more smoother.
If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on fire?
You saw how quick it was. I just did these 2 doors, and that's all you need is a little squirt bottle and a little piece of sandpaper, and then you just squirt and you just do little circle motions, and then you see, I kind of feel around to see any rough spots, and then I just go back over those. But as fast as it took me to do those 2, I have 2 more of the doors to do, and then these tall ones, and then I'll be done and ready for second coat. I'll pop back on when I'm all done with the sanding, and I will just show you what it looks like before we do coat number 2. And I'll probably do coat number 2 off camera because you guys pretty much know the deal. You're just gonna roll it on and let it dry. You don't need to see that part. But for the top coat. I have some thoughts. All right. Everything is wet sanded and it feels so buttery smooth. I wish you could feel it. I really wish you could feel it. So that is ready for its second coat. Let's get in the light. So that is ready for the second coat. What we need to do now, while that's kind of drying because it's still a little wet, what we need to do next is the tall cabinet. And what I want to do with the tall cabinet is I want to line these shelves, because right now it's just press wood, and that press wood, when it gets water on it, will swell, and I don't want that. I don't want to put all this hard work in on this tall cabinet only to have it swell and I have to redo it. So I went to Walmart. Yes, I went to Walmart. I try to avoid that place like the plague, let me tell you. It is, my Walmart here is just, whew, it's like a super Walmart, so it's big and huge, and they just recently redid it, so I can't find anything. But I did find this, and what this is the Easy Liner, but it's cuttable, and it's, there we go, it's nice and thick. And my thought process was just to line these shelves with this clear plastic liner, so if anything should happen to spill on it, it'll be okay, because then I can just remove this, wipe it down, and put it back, and it won't get onto the press wood at all. So that is our next thing that we're going to do to get this cabinet and this laundry room ready. Now, I've used this before, and it's as easy as just measuring it out and cutting it. It's with scissors. It's that easy. So I'm just going to do like one, and I'm going to show you. And then with the power of YouTube TV, it'll be done like that for you.
I pulled into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing in your eyes. Girl, I can tell that you have something on your mind. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade.
Okay, I am done cutting. Here it is. It's just a shelf liner. You can glue it down if you want. I'm just going to keep it like this. Eventually it'll lay flat. Right now it's kind of puckering up because it was rolled up in a roll. But I'm going to use this to cut out 1, 2, 3 more squares. Cut out one for here, and then some up here, and we will be done lining the shelf, and we can get this shelf into position. All right, everyone, the liners are all done and in place, and now it's time to move the cabinet into its forever place.
Tell that you have something on your mind right now. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink.
All right, guys, that is it for this vlog. We've had a busy couple of days. I hope you've enjoyed all the progress we've made. Just a friendly reminder to like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. It's free. It helps the channel. And I can't wait to start putting this all together, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I just can't. So I will see you in the next vlog, which will start tomorrow when we go to the antique booth. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Forget all your sorrows, let go like there's no tomorrow.